Hey Megan, I wanted to say thank you so much for doing your first mascara purchase. I'm excited that we're taking this journey together. I'm excited to help you, and your makeup routine is going to be easier than ever with better results. So, I've created a compact that's exactly the same as yours. Well, my contour is a different color, but that's on my end. So, this is how I would set up your compact. It would be Candlelit, then I would do Astoria, Desert Sunset, Pearl, and you'll have your powder separate. And you have your two brushes. So I'm going to walk you through how I would apply your makeup with what you have. So let's get started. First off, moisturize your skin. That's important because we're going to be using cream makeup, so we want your skin to already be hydrated. I used Maskcara's Milk, which has like a probiotic, and it's a goat milk probiotic moisturizer. And I use it also with Supergoop Glow Screen. This just gives me some SPF coverage that is important to, fight against the sun as we're getting older. And I just tested them out for the first time actually right now, the two of them together. My other moisturizer that I was using rolled off when I started to use this. So I'm happy to report that these two combine to make a really nice, dewy, smooth combination. Okay, so to get started, we're going to start with your highlight. This is your powder brush. We're going to use this smaller end almost the whole time. So this is your go-to brush pretty much for almost everything. Okay, I'm going to tap it in Candlelit. And right now you don't have an eye highlight and a chin, you just have one color, which makes it easier. But we can add more dimension to your makeup later if that's something that you're interested in. You can start on your chin or around your eye. For today, I'm going to start around my chin. So I tap it into the makeup and then I'm rotating a little bit to just get it warmed up on the skin. You can see how it just starts to lay evenly. And there are areas on my face that I'm not really looking to cover right now, which is here. Here, you don't need to do too much coverage because we're going to go in with contour. And underneath here, we're going to do contour. So I am focusing on the ski mask. So this area, I want to brighten here. I want to brighten this triangle underneath your eye next to your nose. Those are the two spots that I'm really trying to push forward. Again, just rotating. And you can see I put a lot here, and by the time I'm here, I don't have as much of the makeup. So I just come back and pull it forward. You can kind of move it and tell it where you want it to go. Okay. I'm gonna go underneath here. I need to do a little bit of color correct here, which isn't a part of your journey because you have really nice skin. But if you happen to have any sort of redness in your skin, we use one of our contours. We're very resourceful with our makeup, so we have multi-uses for almost all of our tints. So I'm using a light contour to help me eliminate the redness that creeps around my face. But overall, our highlights cancel out any redness to begin with, which is one of the reasons that I love this makeup so much, because I have definitely red undertones in my skin. Okay, so there you go. And here I just do a little bit of buffing. I could even put a little bit there to just build that up a little bit so it has more pigmentation of that highlight. Down the line, this should match your neck. So let me know if the color is correct for you. It should flow into your neck. If it's too light or too dark, let me know and we can swap it out and trade it. So you have 60 days to do any kind of color swapping on any of your colors. Okay, now I'm going to go to your detail hack brush, which is flat. And I'm going to go into my contour. And this is a little bit more tacky, a little bit more firm, so I kind of pull a little bit to get this brush. And I'm covering the whole brush. I'm going to start on my forehead. Now, this is the scary part, and as you get more comfortable with this makeup, you'll go heavier. But if it's light to begin with, that's okay, but challenge yourself to see a line, because you want to see a line. So this is the dimension we're bringing in. And there we go. Yours is going to look a little bit cooler than what my color is. Mine's a little bit more brown, warmer brown. Okay, I'm doing the same tapping, loading up my brush. And I recommend finding where your cheekbone muscle or cheekbone is with your finger. And you want to pull the line down right on the underside of that. That's our goal. Good rule of thumb is it's at the top of the ear and you're going to end it near the edge of your eye. So you're going to trace whichever angle your bone goes to. So for me, I'm going to pull it down just like that. And I tend to pull it back into my hair. You have lighter hair, so it may be, you may do it a little bit lighter into your hair, but I can like throw it back in there. You're not going to see it. Okay. Now the last place we're going to do is behind your ear. I pull it back here to kind of drop it down into this hair kind of spot. It's kind of like the dead zone on you. I think that it just helps to hide the highlight or the contour process a little bit into your neck. And I'm going to draw this line that goes from here to here. And then I'm going to pull it back with this brush. And then we're going to go back up and blend the other side. So I'm going to just finish my neck on the other side. Tapping again. Going to go in here, pull it down, forward. Pull this down. We just want the illusion of a shadow. We don't want any hard, literal hard lines here. We just want, just giving a little bit of contour here allows your jawline to just pop without really seeing anything. So see, if I do that, you're not really seeing any of those, that contour literally, but you do see it just slightly. That's what we're going for. Okay, I need to do my last cheek down to your eye. And you can build upon this. Say it's too light, tap a little bit more, put it in. Now you can see, look, I even put too much on this side, not enough on that side. Don't stress about it. It's cream makeup, so we're gonna move it. So that's one of the good things. You can do no wrong. Okay, I'm gonna finish face, then I'll show you nose contour, which is optional. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep this pigment here as much as I can. So I'm gonna pull down the bottom and I'm gonna pull up the top. So it softens the edges, but I'm trying to keep that dimension of that color here. Okay, now we're going to do the same here. Pull up into the hairline. Again, if your hair is more blonde, try to diffuse it right by, almost a little bit in your hairline if you can, if it doesn't affect your hair color. Try that. and then I pull down here. Sometimes I pull a little bit over to just give it the rounded softness that I'm looking for. Pulls the makeup. Okay, now pulling this down. Try to pull this down a little bit more since I put it on unevenly. And pull this up. Okay. So there you go. That is your contour. And there is more uses of this contour that I'll get into, but since you're just starting, we're gonna just do the basics to start off with, and nose is actually additional. So, doing nose, I use the same brush, but I use just the corner edge of this, and I tap it in kind of like that. So I want to load one side of the brush, so I'm just pulling this down to make a straight line, like that. Now load up your brush a little bit more to get the other side of your nose. The closer you put these lines together, the more thin your nose is going to be. So it's up to you how you want to, how thin you want it to be. There you go. And ideally you're aiming to have the same intensity on both sides. So I loaded this side of the brush, so I'll buff out with this side of the brush. All you do is pull down. So as I'm pulling down, you can see it's disappearing from the side of my nose, but it still has this shadow that it produced to make my nose just a little bit thinner. Okay, so you don't want to see any of your contour. We're building illusions. Okay, and we're not trying to pull this down onto your cheek. We want to try to keep these cheeks with the highlight and reflecting. Okay, now I'm going to go into your blush. We're going to go back to the small end of the powder brush. Going to tap a couple of times in your blush. Now, a good rule of thumb for blush is you can either put it here on the apples of your cheeks, or you can put it back here and it kind of gives your face this lifting effect. So I'm going to put it a little bit farther back, and I'm just going to tap a couple of times because I have this brush loaded, and then I'm going to tap a couple of times on this side to try to even out how much I have the blush. And I've been experimenting with putting a little bit more blush just because I think it adds a really nice dimension without being too much. And I stipple it on a little bit, or you can do the rotating, either one, whichever you prefer. Okay. And this kind of gives you that another layer to your contour, because now the top layer has a color that I'm calling for you to look at, then underneath it, it has this kind of feature building shadows underneath, so it doesn't look just like there's shadows on your face, but now you have something on top that's calling their attention. Okay, I'm gonna brush my eyebrows really quick. You can also use your contour in your eyebrows. That's a trick that I use a lot. If you have a small brush, you can use that. I'm going to use just a little bit of my contour, pull it through first. So I try not to just work on the beginning section. I try to pull the makeup the whole way through so you don't get too much of the product. And this is actually, this tackiness that our contour has is perfect for brows, I found, because I think it kind of gives that a little bit more of a waxiness that helps hold your brow shape. There you go. Okay. Now the final step that you have is your pearl, and I use pearl with my finger. I just run it here, and we have about 6 places that we're going to put this. So here is the half moon. I put it around my eye and a little bit down onto my cheek. This gives your skin that dewy look. The hydrated kind of shimmer. It's really nice. You can do no wrong with this because it's invisible. Just has a little bit of iridescent. I put a little bit underneath the edge of my eyebrow. I put it in the crease of my eye. I'm going to mirror on this side the same spots. Okay. And yours may be, I'm not sure whether you have the white version or yours may be a little bit more pink. Either way, you're putting it in the same spots. It's going to do the exact same thing. One just says a more white, light reflective, and the other is more like pink and warm. Okay? And Cupid's bow. We're doing down the ridge of your nose. I tap like halfway down my nose a little bit, or you can just do the tip of your nose. We're pulling this part forward, we're pushing this back. And then Cupid's bow. Just makes your lip a little bit fuller. And finally, you can use either a lip pencil or you can use your finger. I'm gonna just put a little bit of the desert sunset on my lips to complete my look. And that is your whole mascara, compact. Now the final step would be your powder. So using the bigger end of this brush, I think you had e.l.f., I think it was. Let me know what you think of your powder. I'd be interested to know. I'm just using the mascara version. I put it in my compact just on the edge, kind of by itself. And I aim for the T-zone, kind of where I think that I'm going to be sweating the most. I've already have iridescent here, so I'm not trying to necessarily mat out that part of my skin, but my chin, around my nose, my forehead, that's where I'm targeting. Now that should help set your makeup. I also have, down the line, this isn't something you need right now, but I also do another, since it's summer, when it's hot, this cream makeup, when it's warm, it tends to move. I use all-nighter spray, but we also have a mascara version of this, and I just do 2 X's over my face to set the makeup. So, and then that's the final thing that I do. Sometimes if I feel like I put it only in certain places, I'll just tap a little bit with this brush to help spread it across my face. And you can do your eyeshadow, your mascara. I do recommend curling your lashes. I'm not sure if you're someone that has an eyelash curler, but every time one of my clients uses the eyelash curler, they're always like, wow, my lashes look so great. One last thing. I'm going to show you, I'm going to use Astoria. You have Astoria. I'm going to use the other end of this detail hack brush. And this is a quick and easy eyeshadow that you can do every day. If you want it thicker, you put it on more full on. But just a little bit actually goes a long way. I'm going to load my eyeshadow on first, then I'm going to blend it out. And I just put it right on the lid. I find this to be a really nice color on everyone because it's already a color that you're using on your skin. It also matches your makeup naturally. But there you go. With light eyes, it looks really nice. So just a little bit there. You already have your highlight underneath here that brightens. If you want, you can go in and retouch up some of those if you want to brighten it even more. Eyelash curler, mascara, and you are good to go, girl. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, thank you so much for supporting me and being willing to go on this journey, and I'm excited to help you. So, you got this, girl. Way to go, Megan.